Hi everyone, welcome to our very first ever video in English, and do bear with me as my thoughts are coming in Spanish and they're leaving in English right now, so, cut me some slack. Today, I would like to talk to you about a subject that I am really passionate about, the subject of rudiments. We have such a wealth of history in the world of percussion that rudiments are something that should not ever be overlooked. I find that with younger generations, they tend to be a bit overlooked. But 15 years ago, I was the younger generation, and I overlooked it. And thank God I've become wiser, less fast, less choppy, and more rudimentary. There are several sections in which we can divide our study of the rudiments. You have your diddle, flam, hybrid, and roll rudiments. We're going to get into a little bit of each one of those. For starters, one of the first words you hear when you enter the world of the drums is paradiddle. And to me, paradiddles represent perfect symmetry. When the right side leads is identical to when the left side leads. And I find that to be fascinating. That means it's going to nurture both sides equally. Your paradiddles are going to be right, left, left, left. That's it. But you can go so far with those 8 notes. Trust me. You can use your paradiddle as a groove. You can use your paradiddle as a means within your soloing. And you can use it as an explosive finale. And I'll get into that later. This whole part, paradiddles, is brought to you by Billy Cobham, one of the greatest diddle drummers ever. And I know that a lot of you checking out these videos are also Billy Cobham fans. Then there is the Paradiddle-diddle, and I'd like to show it to you as a phrase that you can do between your kick drum, your right cymbal, and your snare drum. We're going to actually accent the second note of that Paradiddle-diddle, and I took this from one of my favorite drummers, Mr. Keith Carlock. Sounds like this. Next up, we have the 6-stroke roll, and this one is brought to you by Dennis Chambers, one of my biggest influences ever. I remember being blown away hearing him play a lot of 6-stroke rolls and wondering how he got that sound. I found out that playing it slowly, it didn't quite have the force it had when I played it fast. So you have to really work at this rudiment. It is fairly simple. It is a fairly simple sticking that will take your rolls to another level. One of the coolest things about Rudiments is that you might think it sounds a little pretentious to say, oh, I play Rudiments. Do you not? Everybody plays Rudiments, whether you are a punk, rock, or a jazz or a funk drummer. Everyone plays them. If you've played a single stroke roll, well, then you've played a rudiment. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Or if you've played a double stroke roll, you're definitely playing Rudiments. So I basically just want to show you a couple more so that you can have a broader spectrum of vocabulary to choose from. Now, here's the thing. You really have to work at the simpler things to make them sound really good. You actually have to work extra. If you want a super solid single stroke roll, you really have to work at it with a metronome. If you really want a super solid double stroke roll, you really have to work at it. And I'm not a big fan of practice pads. I understand if we don't have a drum set with us, then we'll have to use a practice pad. But if you have your drum set with you, don't go to the pad. It's like having an inflatable girlfriend when you already have your proper girlfriend in front of you. Right, guys? So, practice your rudiments on your snare drum. Practice your rudiments on the kit. Because this is the real response. This is it. This is reality right here. Next up, I'd like to talk to you about a rudiment that was brought forth by my favorite drummer, Tony Williams, the blushda. I've already explained it in Spanish. Now I'm going to explain it in English to you. It consists of a flam, 2 right hands on the snare drum, and a left rim shot, and repeat. I want to talk about a couple different linear combinations I use nonstop on the kit. First combination I would like to call 4s, which consists of a kick drum note, an accentuated right hand note, and 2 left hand ghost notes. It sounds like this on the snare drum. You can think of it as 16th notes, and you can definitely think of it as 32nd notes. A very simple 4-note combination that you can play super fast with relative ease. I would like to talk to you about 6s. Kick drum, right, left, right, left, left. 4s and 6s, linear 4s and linear 6s, are the connective tissue of my soloing approach. There you have it. That's my secret, quote unquote. That gives me time to think or to exist in the moment and express myself with rudiments. I always strive for my solos to be rich without being overwhelming. This is the fine-tuning that comes after you already can do a bunch of stuff. Now you have to cut a little bit. Now you have to subtract. And for me to give you a drum solo I enjoy, because I have to enjoy it. I have to understand it and be like, no, yeah, that's proper for my audience, who I love. Does it have rudiments? Does it have the linear thing? Does it have odd number groupings? Does it have triplets? Am I expressing my feelings through phrasing? So this is just the first part, the knowledge of the mechanics of it all. What you're going to do with it. Find your own identity, who you're going to be behind the kit. That's the hard part. So sure, take this all. I've taken it all, but I've made it my own. Now that's the hardest part. So check it out. rudiments and linear combinations. Check this out. If you can do it as a binary 16th note thing, try doing it as a triplet. Oh, you thought it was easy? You just have your paradiddles as a binary thing? This is what paradiddles sound like as triplets. And vice versa. Make something triplety sound binary. Everything with everything in good taste. And what will give you a notion of taste? Listen to music. Listen to the drummers within the music. Listen to your Steve Gadd, who is a huge rudimental drummer. Listen to Tony Williams. Listen to Vinnie Colaiuta. Listen to Dennis. Listen to Billy Cobham. Such inspirational drummers who are not only giving us combinations, they're giving us the history of the instrument. It's all about the information you're playing and how you're playing it. So, make the best use of it. For you. You're not pleasing anybody. You're an artist. You're a drummer. You're an artist. Remember, you're a musician. Do your best and make music with this beautiful instrument. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for checking out this first video in English. If you liked this content, please leave your like, subscribe. Do feel free to leave a comment with any other subjects you would like for us to further explore. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.